Ever wondered if cybersecurity is a necessity or a luxury in our technologically driven world? In this era where technology is as essential as breathing, cybersecurity has become not just a buzzword, but a critical part of our lives. We're living in a time where our digital presence is as significant as our physical one, and sadly it's under constant threat. Cyber threats are like the uninvited guests at a party, always popping up when least expected. Now imagine, wouldn't it be lovely if the only worms we needed to worry about were those squirming in our gardens? Alas, the reality is the worms we should be concerned about today are those creeping into our computer systems, causing havoc and disruption. Cybersecurity isn't just another fancy accessory to our digital lives. It's the knight in shining armor, the unsung hero that shields our precious digital world from the lurking dangers. So let's dive into the intricacies of cybersecurity to understand how it shields our digital world. Scene script. Time to decode the ABCs of cybersecurity. Imagine your computer or smartphone as a house. Now in this digital world, this house is under constant surveillance by unwanted guests, trying to find a way in. These unwanted guests are what we call threats. Just like a burglar eyeing your home, threats are potential dangers that could exploit weaknesses in your digital house. Next, let's talk about vulnerabilities. Imagine you left a window open at your house. This open window is a vulnerability, a weakness that makes your house more susceptible to a break-in. In the digital world, vulnerabilities are flaws or weaknesses in a system that can be exploited by threats. It could be a weak password, outdated software, or even a malicious email link you accidentally clicked on. Now imagine the potential harm that could happen if the burglar gets into your house through that open window. That's risk. In cybersecurity, risk refers to the potential damage or loss when a threat exploits a vulnerability. It could range from theft of sensitive data to the disruption of your computer's operations, and lastly, attacks. If the burglar successfully breaks into your house, that's an attack. In our digital world, an attack is when a threat successfully exploits a vulnerability to cause harm. This could be a hacker breaching your data, a virus infecting your computer, or a phishing scam tricking you into revealing personal information. But don't worry, cybersecurity is like the neighborhood watch, the alarm system, the lock on your door, all rolled into one. It's a combination of practices, technologies, and processes designed to protect your digital house from threats by identifying vulnerabilities, managing risks, and preventing attacks. And that's how cybersecurity is the superhero of our digital world, always ready to fight off the villains. Now that we've got our basics cleared, let's embark on a journey through the wild threat landscape. Just like in the real world, the cyber world too has its fair share of threats. And trust me, they are not as benign as a mosquito bite. Let's start with malware, the bad guy in the black hat. Malware, short for malicious software, is like that uninvited guest who crashes your party, eats all the food, and leaves a mess behind. It's software specifically designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to a computer system. Next up is phishing, and no, I'm not talking about the kind that involves a boat and a fishing rod. Phishing is a type of cyber attack where the attacker pretends to be a trustworthy entity to trick you into revealing sensitive information like your login credentials or credit card numbers. It's like someone pretending to be your favorite pizza delivery guy, only to steal your pizza. Okay, maybe it's a little bit more serious than that. Then we have ransomware, the cyber equivalent of a hostage situation. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts a victim's files. The attacker then demands a ransom from the victim to restore access to the data upon payment. Imagine someone locking up your fridge and demanding money to give you access to your own food. Frustrating, isn't it? And lastly, we have DDoS attacks, or distributed denial of service attacks. It's like a traffic jam on the internet where the attacker floods a network with so much traffic that it can't handle it, causing it to slow down or even crash. It's the equivalent of 1,000 people trying to get through a single door at the same time. Not a pretty sight, is it? So, the cyber world can be a dangerous place. But don't worry, there are plenty of ways to protect yourself, and we'll be covering those in the next scene. So, next time you go fishing, make sure it's in a lake, not your email inbox. Scene script. Ready to learn some tricks to fend off those nasty cyber threats? First up, let's talk passwords. The stronger, the better. So, how do we make a strong password? Think of a phrase that's easy for you to remember, but hard for others to guess. It could be a line from your favorite song, or a memorable quote. Now take the first letter of each word in that phrase, mix in some capital letters, numbers, and symbols, and voila, you've got yourself a strong password. And remember, no repeats. Using the same password for multiple accounts is like using the same key for every lock. One key lost and everything's compromised. Next, two-factor authentication, or 2FA for short. This is like having a second lock on your door. Even if someone guesses your password, they'll need a second piece of information to get in. This could be a code sent to your phone or a fingerprint. It's a little extra work, but it's worth it for the peace of mind. Now, on to software updates. Yes, they can be annoying, popping up when you're in the middle of something important, but these updates often contain patches for security vulnerabilities. So the next time you see that update available notification, don't ignore it. Think of it as a vaccine for your device, keeping it healthy and protected. Lastly, secure networks. Public Wi-Fi is like a public restroom. You don't know who's been there before you. If you have to use public Wi-Fi, use a virtual private network or VPN to encrypt your data and keep it safe from prying eyes. And there you have it, folks. Cybersecurity isn't rocket science. It's about being aware, staying vigilant, and taking the right precautions. Like a digital version of looking both ways before crossing the street. Remember, staying safe online is just as important as locking your doors at night. Scene script. Wondering what the future holds for cybersecurity? Well, as we navigate the digital highways, it's safe to say that the future of cybersecurity is as dynamic and evolving as the technology that powers it. Let's delve into some of the exciting trends that are set to shape the cybersecurity landscape. First up, we have artificial intelligence and machine learning, the dynamic duo of the tech world. These technologies are going to be game changers in detecting and neutralizing threats even before they wreak havoc. Imagine a world where your cybersecurity system learns, adapts, and enhances itself to tackle new threats. Quite the digital superhero, isn't it? Next, let's talk about the Internet of Things. As our fridges, toasters, and even light bulbs get smarter, they also become potential targets for cyber attacks. IoT security is going to play a pivotal role in ensuring our smart devices don't turn against us. Remember, a secure smart home is a happy smart home. Now, let's touch on the topic of blockchain. Known for its role in cryptocurrencies, blockchain's decentralized nature makes it a compelling option for securing data. As we move towards a more data-driven world, the role of blockchain in cybersecurity will only increase. And here's a little something to tickle your funny bone. Despite all these advancements, one thing is certain. Even in the future, the delete button is not going to be the magical solution to all our cybersecurity woes. If only it were that easy, right? So, as we gear up for these exciting advancements, it's imperative that we continue learning and adapting. Cybersecurity isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a continuous process of growth, much like the technology it protects. So, as we step into the future, let's make sure our cybersecurity knowledge keeps up with the pace. It's time to wrap up our journey through the fascinating world of cybersecurity. We've taken a deep dive into this crucial field, starting with its importance. Cybersecurity isn't a luxury, it's a necessity in our ever-evolving digital world. We moved on to the ABCs of cybersecurity, shedding light on its basic concepts. It's not just about passwords and firewalls, it's about understanding the intricate network of systems and how to protect them. Next, we ventured into the threat landscape. Threats are not always external, sometimes they lurk within. Knowing and understanding these threats is the first step in combating them. We also discussed best practices in cybersecurity. Remember, a proactive approach is always better than a reactive one. Finally, we glimpsed into the future of cybersecurity, where artificial intelligence and machine learning are set to take center stage. So, equipped with your newfound knowledge, go forth and conquer the digital world. Stay safe, stay secure,